Hey there, wrestling fans. It's Michelle from FTW here to talk Total Divas. This week we start off with... That's right, pre-mode. So Paige is very cleverly decided that she wanted to see Brie mode. And of course, Brie and Nikki were like, no, that's not going to happen. And Paige says, oh, I think Brie mode is really just a myth because I've never seen it, so I don't think it's real. And then, of course, Brie is like, Brie mode is a legend. So she kind of got her in mode, and they went out drinking, and of course Brie drank a little bit too much, a lot too much perhaps, and with that overslept when her and Nikki were supposed to go out and work out before their matches. So with that, Nikki had to get the front desk to let her into Brie's room to wake her up. When Brie stands up, she projectile vomits onto Nikki's boobs, which is both disgusting and hilarious. Of course, Nikki doesn't find it remotely hilarious, but the rest of us kind of chuckled. I may have gagged. I may have like almost threw up a little bit in my mouth when I was watching it. My husband was in another room and he had to come in to see what I was gagging about. But for sure it was nasty. It was funny. But yeah, Brie mode, even though she went into the ring after all that, she did a really great job, and she brought her A game to the ring, and she had Brie mode in the ring as well, so she did a great job. Alicia Fox and Wade Barrett were an item for about 2 years. Who knew? We now know because of Total Divas. And so Wade, after they had broke up, Wade did the breaking up, and after they broke up, Wade had gone out on an injury, and so Alicia kind of didn't deal with it, right? So she didn't have to see him and face him, and then when she did, she was kind of like really stressed out and really dramatic. And again, it must be puke week at Total Divas, because she was thrown up because she didn't want to face him and didn't want to deal with the breakup. But she did find the courage to go and talk to him and ask him, why did you break up with me? Because she didn't really know that. And so he was really good and very comforting to her. And he was like, I didn't think it was fair to you or myself because I didn't see us together like forever. So hard to hear, but also good closure for her as well. The next one is kind of a serious note with Natty. I know, you're going to say, when is it not serious with Natty? But really, this one is. Her dad has been battling addiction. He kind of has this problem where he was once a superstar and he had lots going on, and now he's getting older and he isn't transitioning well with that, and perhaps he decides to make some poor choices with that. And so Natty wants to get him help, and nicely enough, TJ steps up to the plate, and she goes to him and says, can we just put our differences aside and you help me with Dad, because he respects you, he knows you well, and he isn't listening to me. And so they kind of stage an intervention, and somebody else comes from rehab from WWE. And I have to say, WWE is right on with helping out those that have addiction problems, that have once worked for the company, and so bravo to them. So her dad ended up going into rehab, and from what I gather is doing very well there. So we will continue on with those stories next week, and we'll be back next week with more Total Divas.